Today, we're going to look at the Bazi Astrology of President Donald Trump and the United States, specifically on June 14th, 2025, the day of a military parade falling on Flag Day. It's a big day here in the United States, and we're going to unpack the Bazi Chinese astrology right now. So welcome, my name is Lydia Griffith. This is the Feng Shui and Bazi Chinese Astrology channel. I often like to read the charts of famous people and countries. I think it helps us to better understand our own lives and our own charts. So if this sparks interest for you, please subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss a single video. I put out daily shorts, little fortune cookies, if you will, little messages to help you navigate through your day with a little more ease and grace. I also do weeklies and monthlies, and you'll see in the link below or in the description below links to all of these videos and how to also get your own Bazi astrology reading. If you are really curious about this, it's a beautiful way to understand your own life. And all that is. So I also want to say right from the get-go, please, for the love of God, keep your comments kind and respectful. This is not commentary. This is purely astrology and humanity. Humanity. And what does it mean to be human? I think that's an important place to start this particular reading. According to the path of spirituality that I walk, to be human is to be kind. To be human means we're respectful of one another, curious about our differences because it helps us to expand and grow. I think being human is being innovative and creative and full of wonder as to who we can be in collaboration with others. A famous person once said, the difference between illness and wellness. One starts with the letter I, and the other starts with we. I woke up today with incredible anxiety in my chest. I made the unfortunate error of drilling down into a whole bunch of reels and videos about what's happening in the United States, specifically in LA, with the ICE raids, Boston, other places in the United States. And I mentioned that because I think there is a real caution, my friends, to our wellness, that we not spend so much time watching the same story over and over, video after video, commentary after commentary, horror after horror, injustice after injustice. This is not political anymore. This is not about party lines, and it is not about who we voted for back in November. It's not about that anymore. This is all about what it means to be an American and what America stands for, built on the Constitution, the idea of democracy. And so I would like to start this reading by looking at the astrology for the United States and American people on June 14th, 2025, the day of this unfortunate parade. And I say that because in ancient cultures and in many cultures today, date selection is used to select the most opportune, advantageous day for a major event, from a political parade to a wedding. So, but unfortunately that did not happen and would not happen in this country. So The United States, obviously we know the birthday, July 4th, 1776. It's 1713. We are born in a year of a yang fire monkey, a month of yang wood horse, the day of yin earth ox, and the hour of yin water rooster. The astrology for June 14th, 2025 is a yin wood snake year, the month of yang water horse, the day of yang wood tiger, and the hour of yin water rooster. What do we see right from the get-go? I see a full fire trio with this year of the snake, our month of the horse, and our luck cycle of the sheep. Pause for this part because we are in a luck cycle of the sheep as of 2017 to 2027. Donald Trump is born on the day of a sheep. The sheep is the enemy of the ox. The United States is born on the day of the ox. The bulk of the population that therefore is represented in that day pillar. So his chart and the United States chart is in opposition. And that is part of the medicine of this time in our history, is that we are having a president that mirrors and is activating the astrology of this luck cycle. So what is this luck cycle talking about anyway? It is a yin earth sheep, right? And the sheep is the yin earth of summertime. It's hot, hot sand. And the United States is born in the ox, which is at the opposite end of the year. It is cold, hard earth of winter. And so there are polar opposites. This time for the United States, since again 2017, has been all about who are we? Who are we as Americans? What is our identity and how do we identify with ourselves? Who are our allies? Who are our friends? Suppressed under that, education, religion, faith, and the institutions that support us. Not the money, but the institutions that support us, like Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, banks for granting loans and grants. And under this also is what I call the bully in the chart, the one that challenges you in your career, the one who challenges you at school. These are authority figures that are coming down hard on you. And it's kind of like these are like the bully lurking in the bathroom. All of these are influences, and some are more magnified than others. And so what happens sometimes is that when this sheep is banging up against the day of the ox in the United States chart, it's breaking this all open like a piñata to have it all be looked at, scrutinized, and made apparent. So, for instance, all of these, things I just mentioned are all out in the open, playing themselves out. So let's get into this day for the United States. The thing that I also want to mention is that on this day, and we're already seeing the tankers are arriving in DC, on trains, I believe. There are 6,000 soldiers, 150 plus vehicles. I would say that what I saw looked like way more than 150 vehicles, but 50 helicopters and a cost of $45 million because tankers apparently going down city streets tears the streets up. So they're going to have to repave. There are over 50 protests in 50 states called No Kings parades. And again, this isn't about party lines, friends. And if you think it is, you got to stop. That is an old narrative, doesn't fit this now moment right now. This is about what it means to be an American. And what does the United States represent? Who are we? There is a full fire penalty for the United States chart with this day of the tiger, our year of the monkey, and this year of the snake. And a full fire penalty is just that. It is anything and everything going really wrong. Costing lives, costing money, costing fill in the blanks. There is a earth penalty with the hour of the dog, which is the bulk of this time from 7 to 9 p.m. or the hour. That's the hour window for the dog. Creates this earth penalty with ourselves. Actually, it's a full earth penalty with our luck cycle, that hour, and our day. The earth penalty is a very heavy earth presence, and we are earth. It feels like a massive outpouring of people, like nothing we have seen before in our lifetimes, most of us. So you have a full earth penalty, a full fire penalty, and the United States, born in the year of a monkey, hour of the rooster, forms a semi-metal trio. That is being magnified at the very beginning of the parade in the last wisps of the hour of the rooster. When this thing ends, we have the hour of the pig, the enemy of the snake. On top of that, our year of the monkey is in opposition with this day of the tiger. That's yang metal cutting yang wood. It is so much conflict, and it is explosive. Okay? Do what you got to do on this day. You could do a prayer for peace circle at your church, community center, town, in front of some legal building or government building, and you could join the protests of the No Kings. Be where you feel you need to be to support the United States of America as an American. Do what you need to do, but please be safe and peaceful. So let's jump it over. You ready? Okay. I've covered Donald Trump's chart. I'm not going into all the mechanics of it. We know that his chart is super hot and dry. He has no water, next to no metal, and barely balanced amount of wood. I say that because at 13% with no water nourishing that wood, it's just kind of hanging out there. His chart is over 40% fire and over 50% earth. That is his own element. He is born on the day of a yin earth sheep. And again, that is the enemy of the United States chart, born on the day of an ox. Interesting to also note, former President Biden is born on the day of an ox. And Donald Trump's current luck cycle that he moved into in November 2023 is a Yang water tiger. And I have talked at endless amount about how from the very beginning of this luck cycle, he has been dealing with an amplification of legal battles against him and the things that he is doing. So there has to always be checks and balances everywhere in our homes, our families, our workplaces, our government. We have to have checks and balances. It's what keeps order. It's what keeps us as as an organism functioning machine, right? No one entity can govern all the mechanics and pieces without it going completely crazy. So I told you guys, though, he was going to come in like a wrecking ball. That's his style. That is his astrology. Some of you might find it fabulous and entertaining and great for you. But this, again, is an American, United States situation. And what is happening with President Trump's astrology for this particular day. We are now in a very hot year. This month is even hotter with this fire. The horse is yin fire. The snake is yang fire. This day of a tiger forms a semi-fire penalty with the year of the snake. Donald Trump is born in the hour of a snake. And according to our 4 pillars, your year, month, day, and hour, when we're first born, our personality and our lives sits in our month, which is where our parents are. And then that first luck cycle shift, dependent on when you are born, signals the energetic umbilical cord with your mother separating. And that is where you move into your day pillar, which is the signature place for Bazi Chinese astrology. And that's where most of us abide for the bulk of our lives. Then there's that small window, the last chapter of our lives, in which we are in our elder years, which Donald Trump is now an elder. He's turning 79 for sure. And that puts him in his hour. So this particular year is a great challenge to him specifically, and it is amplifying the semi-fire penalty that is going on with him. So when we look at the fact that all of this is amplified, we have a day of the tiger, year of the snake. He is born in the hour of the snake with a luck cycle of the tiger. It's all being magnified. In addition to that, when we start this, there is that semi-metal trio that is part of the astrology of this day, the start of the parade, is playing out again in his career and his life. It is like when you shoot the gun at the start of a race. It's kind of like that. That's how this thing begins. And then we get into the crux of it. The 7 to 9 hour, again, it's the hour of the dog, creates a full fire penalty. Full fire trio in his chart. And because he's born in the year of a dog. And his chart is already really hot and dry. That hour between 7 and 9 also amplifies the earth penalty that's already in his chart, year of the dog, day of the sheep. This is somebody that is in constant opposition. This is what he knows. So for him, if you have lived a life that is in constant kind of conflict and opposition, you just know how to navigate through that. You know, you either rise up and learn to live with tough astrology and make it work for you, or you fall victim and you don't have a very successful life. It's one that's just chronic struggle. But he has been able to rise up to that, including all the legal stuff that is systemic in his astrology, that he will always have legal trouble, bankruptcies and all the rest, and yet he prevails. When this parade ends, there is a yin wood pig ending this. The pig is the enemy of the snake. And that is going to hit directly on his hour. And I think one of the things that I find cautionary about this day is, again, where are you? Where are you choosing to be? Are you going to the parade because you want to see it and it's going to be amazing and it's going to have fireworks and all the rest because it's at night? Or are you at a No Kings protest movement in your city? Where are you? And how are you keeping yourself safe? How are you keeping the people in your community safe? Because this isn't about I, it is about we. I-ness, illness. We, wellness. So remember that. I think the astrology overall for June 14th looks explosive, conflicted, and I am happy to say that the day after this is a yin wood rabbit, which feels like such a calming balm after a very potentially chaotic day. The vision that I had when I was doing a tarot reading around this day, I can't even verbalize. I wouldn't do that to you or me. I don't want to put that out in the world. So all I can say is notice where you choose to be. How are you showing up on this day? And what are you doing to protect and preserve our rights as Americans, our Constitution, our democracy? It's getting very interesting now, friends. And this month of the horse, I think, is going to go very, very fast. So keep your feet on the ground. I'm going to go now and take a walk barefoot through the rain-soaked grass on my trails and connect with nature and calm my nervous system. Do what you need to do for your own self-care, connecting with nature, with God, the universe, however that speaks for you. And thank you for watching. May peace prevail. Be well.